welcome if you're new here. My name is Hope King and I'm the designer behind King's Designs MD. Tonight is our next episode of Crafting in Heels, which is a combination of two of my favorite things, which is crafting and high heel shoes. Tonight we will be designing a fan. So whether you use it for your own personal summer or personal activities, we hope to have a fun night in. Okay, so I wanted to show you my fan pieces. I have 12 pieces here, individual pieces, and I have holes that are already sliced out. The holes are about 0.25 inches wide, and that may be a little bit too big for what I'm going for. Alright, so I'm in Cricut Design Space and I want to create my fan blade templates. So I actually was going to use the square and shape it out with the rectangle, but I see that there is a new shape here, so I'm going to use this shape. I'm going to call it a U shape. Now I'm going to unlock my size and lock here. I'm going to expand this up to 11 inches in height because I know I want a really long fan blade, and I'm going to extend it out to 2 inches in width. Now I am just going to go down here and shrink my sizing down so that I can see everything just a little bit closer. Oh, come on. So I'm zoomed in to about 75%. I can take this out now. So this will be the size of my fan blade. So it's 2 inches wide, it's 11 inches in height. And now I want to throw in the shape so that I can get a nice cutout at the bottom and at the top. So I'm going to size my width down to 0.15 at the bottom. And I know that seems super small, but I basically need like a pen needle size, enough to get a needle through and to be able to put a wire or a string through. So I'm going to duplicate this now and move it to the side so that I have a hole for the top as well. So this is 0.15 inches in length. I am going to center that horizontally, and now I'm going to hit the slice button. That's going to allow me to take that out, and I'm going to hit it twice or move it so that I can free up my hole. Now I'm going to do the same thing at the top. I'm going to take the one that I duplicated. I am moving it to the top, and you can put this wherever you want along the top. I'm going to make sure mine is centered again horizontally, and I'm going to hit my slice button. Now you couldn't see it because it was behind it. If you have issues, you can move yours to the front. But now I have a super small pen size hole that I'm hoping my Cricut will do some justice with cutting. And I am duplicating this 12 times. So I've duplicated it 6 times. Now I'm just going to highlight over it and duplicate it again, and I should have another 6. Yep. So that gives me my 12, my full set of 12, and then when I go to click make it, yep, it'll go to my mat, and it should require 3 sheets to be able to cut. Alright, so I have cut my poster board in Cricut on the poster board setting. I have the Air Explorer 2, so I cut it on poster board setting number 2, which is the middle setting. This is sticker paper. I created it by making a digital design in Canva, so I'm just laying my poster board on the sticker paper to make it have a design on the outside. Now, if you don't have sticker paper, you don't have to do this part. If you have cardstock, you can certainly print directly on your cardstock in using Canva or Cricut Design Space. You can pause or stop. Alright, so now that I have all of my pieces cut out, I'm just going to poke through them with my paper piercer. If you don't use sticker paper, you don't have to do this step because your holes are already there. But again, I'm just going to poke through mine so that I can have designated holes. If you prefer to poke from front to back, you can actually see through your sticker paper and see the hole from the front side. What I'm doing is I'm going back through, and where each piece of cardstock is, you want to tape the back of the string down, making sure you don't catch the other one. Make sure they're spread out how you want. And so you just want to go through and tape it down so it gives it a little bit of reinforcement on your fan. And certainly, I feel like I'm rushing through. You can certainly do yours neater so that it's a nice finished outcome. Okay. Alright, so there you go. Now you have a fan. And so you can spread it out and close it, and now you have a fan for yourself. There you go. Hope you like it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so we're about to assemble our fan, and what you can do, I have holes poked through. You just want to run a piece of wire through the bottom of the fan and get all of your pieces together. Justin, I'm waiting for you.
One.
So once you get all your pieces together, you can take your wire. If you have soft wire, it works better, but you can twist your wire and twist it until you can get it in the back. If you have wire cutters or something like that, it may be more helpful for you. Okay, so I have my wire at the bottom pushed through and twisted on both sides. Again, if you have wire cutters and wire tools, that's much easier, and also if you use a softer gauge wire, it's easier to do. Now I'm going to run my thread through the back of the fan. So I'm going to take my thread here, run it through, and the first thing I'm going to do is tape my end. Because I have a larger hole, I want to make sure I tape this down so it doesn't run through. Now, if you're utilizing your sticker paper, this is an area that you can use your sticker paper again on the back and cover this up so it doesn't show through. But I'm just doing this for the sake of time. So I'm going to continue to run my thread through the remaining parts of the fan. I'm using a hook needle. You do not have to use this type of needle. Use whatever you have. You want to make sure you get them all spaced out as you go along so you don't have any issues. You want to make sure you get them all spaced out as you go along so you don't have any issues. Now again, this is the back of the fan, and you have some, I have some ink on the back of my fan because when you touch the edges of the cardstock, the ink doesn't, when you touch the edges of the sticker paper, sometimes the ink doesn't go all the way through. It can get on your hands and it can smear. So I would tell you to be careful if you are using a sticker paper like that that has edges that goes all the way around. You may want to make sure your edges don't print, or use another method. Again, if you're using just plain cardstock, this should not be an issue for you. So I'm just going all the way through from back to front. You don't have to have detailed sewing skills or anything to do this. Just going through, and actually I don't want to go through this last one. I'm just going to tape this last one down. So if you don't want to, you actually don't have to put a hole in the top part of your first piece of cardstock. So I am going to make sure that they are spread out. So that when my fan separates, it actually looks like a fan. So that should be pretty good. And get this one taped down. And you can just cut the end off.